Hey, you little rascal! You stole my white radishes again. The lady's complaints were followed by a few barks from her dog.
Oh no! Don't bite me! We're neighbors. How can you call it stealing? It's borrowing! Borrowing!
To my shame, the little rascal being scolded by the lady and chased by the fierce dog was me, Lily Waters.
What misfortune!
Because of my unattractive appearance, Master Alaric always sighed when he saw me.
Although I'm not good-looking, I still attract a lot of attention. Of course, that's after stirring up a beehive and applying some perfume.
For this, Master Alaric sighed even more often.
So I decided to borrow 2 radishes to help Master Alaric see clearly.
Under the sycamore tree, I saw him, his wine cup shimmering with a silver glow under the moonlight. I couldn't help but walk towards him.
Master, there are so many beautiful things in the world, why fixate on just one moon?
As I finished speaking, I realized that tonight, Master Alaric was not raising his cup to the moon, but to a man more radiant than the moon.
Brother Samuel, don't mind her. This is Lily, who has grown into such a mischievous girl. It's unfortunate, but you knew her from childhood, so you must understand.
I couldn't believe my own master was selling me out. Wait. Knew from childhood?
How could I not remember meeting the celestial-looking man?
I looked again at his half-smiling face and heard him say,
Aiden Reed, you're too kind. Lily is innocent and charming, a delightful person.
Though I secretly laughed at this, I still saw a hint of mischief in his long, narrow eyes.
Lily, this is Dorian Bloom. He came to bring me medicine today. You haven't seen each other for years. Do you remember him?
Dorian Bloom! I felt dizzy and fainted. Since I was 12, a man named Dorian Bloom often appeared in my life. I found him good-looking and couldn't help but glance at him more. Who knew he would use his looks to tease me often? When I was 13, he shamelessly peeked at me bathing and said I was indeed plain-looking, not even as interesting as his poetry. On my 14th birthday, he gave me a screen and repeatedly told me to place it in front of my bathtub to avoid others getting an eye infection. On my 15th birthday, he gave me a veil embroidered with centipedes, insisting I wear it when going out to avoid offending others' eyes. This year, he didn't give anything but brought himself.
What are you doing here?
To marry you!
What? You've been gone for 3 years, and now you show up wanting to marry me? How is that reasonable?
So, Lily is upset that I haven't been by your side?
Dorian Bloom said softly, with a smile in his eyes.
I promise you, this time I'm back for good.
I looked at my delicate hand being grabbed by him and quickly pulled it back.
I can't argue with you, so I won't talk to you.
I thought I gave him an out, and he would wisely retreat, but he looked at me with sparkling eyes and said,
Lily, does this mean you agree to marry me?
I was shocked. Who agreed to that? I can't avoid you fast enough. 3 years without seeing him, his appearance hadn't changed much, but his ability to twist words had improved.
Only a fool would marry you. Even if I couldn't win, I had to resist to the end.
Your plain figure has been seen by me. Who else would marry you now?
Hearing this ambiguous statement, my face turned red, and I had no choice but to retreat to my room, hiding under the covers like a turtle. The room was filled with tension as Lily confronted Dorian Bloom.
To marry you? You've been gone for 3 years, and now you show up wanting to marry me? How is that reasonable?
So, Lily is upset that I haven't been by your side? He said softly, with a smile in his eyes. I promise you, this time I'm back for good.
Lily looked at her delicate hand being grabbed by him and quickly pulled it back.
I can't argue with you, so I won't talk to you.
She thought she gave him an out, and he would wisely retreat, but he looked at her with sparkling eyes.
Lily, does this mean you agree to marry me?
Lily was shocked. Who agreed to that? She couldn't avoid him fast enough.
Only a fool would marry you. Even if she couldn't win, she had to resist to the end.
Your plain figure has been seen by me. Who else would marry you now?
Hearing this ambiguous statement, Lily's face turned red, and she had no choice but to retreat to her room, hiding under the covers like a turtle. When I reached the Heart Pavilion, Dorian Bloom was already red-eyed from drinking. I cautiously approached him, intending to persuade him once more. But before I could sit down, he pulled me into his arms.
Lily! You heartless girl!
I pushed him away.
Heartless? You are the heartless one. How have I wronged you that you would treat me like this?
Treat you badly? Marrying you is treating you badly?
If you don't like me, why sacrifice your happiness to marry me?
Who said I don't like you? Every year on your birthday, I send you gifts. But you? Have you ever given me anything?
Emboldened by the alcohol, he grew bolder, trying to embrace me again. I kept retreating, fueled by anger.
Those so-called gifts were clearly meant to mock me.
I was waiting for this drunkard to respond, having prepared a slew of reasons he couldn't counter. But to my surprise, his face took on a strange expression, and he looked at me with sorrow. What's going on? This reaction wasn't in my plan. Before I could ask, he finally spoke with a bitter smile.
Lily, I actually wanted to pull you back earlier, but you insisted on going forward.
What did he mean by that? A bad feeling crept over me. That soft thing earlier? I turned around to look. Sure enough. Some rascal had left a pile of mess right where I stepped.
It's all your fault. I threw off my shoe, grabbed a stick, and charged at Dorian Bloom with my soiled embroidered shoe.
Despite being drunk, Dorian Bloom's agility was impressive. He dodged left and right, not letting me touch even a corner of his clothes. I was panting from exhaustion, while he kept chattering without showing any signs of fatigue.
Lily, I gave you the screen to prevent other men from seeing you. Since I've seen you, you're mine. Naturally, I want to take care of you.
Then why did you give me a veil embroidered with centipedes? If not to mock my looks, what was it for?
Lily, you're so beautiful. How could I mock your looks?
Seeing the sincere look in his eyes, I momentarily forgot about the shoe in my hand.
I wanted you to wear the veil to prevent others from seeing your face and taking you away. Centipedes? That was from Wang Wei's lovesickness. You really don't understand romance.
Could he really like me? But I have a trait of going with the flow and adapting to circumstances. If it were Master Alaric, I would agree, but Dorian Bloom? No way.
If you like me, why did you trick me into disturbing a beehive, causing my face to swell with boils?
Honey is great for the skin. I told you to wear a mask while collecting it. Who knew you'd go without any preparation and disturb the bees at night?
I thought that even if I looked terrible, the bees wouldn't care in the dark. Who knew it would turn out like that?
Then why did you give me incense, causing me to get stung by bees and bitten by butterflies?
That incense was meant to be burned indoors. Who knew you'd grind it into powder and use it in your bath? Of course, the butterflies would come to you.
You didn't explain clearly. How was I supposed to know it was for burning? Roses are used for baths too.
Lily, you leave me speechless.
Seeing him turn away, seemingly upset, I patiently comforted him.
There are many beautiful flowers in the world. Why are you so fixated on this withered one?
With that, he walked away without looking back. So he was pretending after all. He said he liked me, but I almost believed him. I felt a great sense of relief, finally avenging years of grievances. But thinking back, aside from those incidents, he was the best to me, second only to Master Alaric. Master Alaric was often busy, so I could only talk to Buddy. Just as I thought of Buddy, I saw someone turning back and rushing towards me.
Who is Buddy?
Seeing Dorian Bloom's anxious expression, I wondered if something had happened to Buddy. What happened to him?
Who is he?
He's Master Alaric's pet pig.
After a moment of silence, Dorian Bloom held his head as if in pain.
Lily, you.
What about me?
You'd rather marry a pig than marry me. Truly heartless.
With that, he walked away again, leaving me standing under the moonlight, utterly bewildered. Narrator, tone, serious Dorian Bloom had returned after 3 years, and his first words left Lily in shock.
To marry you.
What? You've been gone for 3 years, and now you show up wanting to marry me? How is that reasonable?
So, Lily is upset that I haven't been by your side? He smiled, his eyes twinkling. I promise you, this time I'm back for good.
Narrator, tone, serious Lily quickly pulled her delicate hand from his grasp.
I can't argue with you, so I won't talk to you.
Narrator, tone, serious. She thought she had given him an out, but he continued with sparkling eyes.
Lily, does this mean you agree to marry me?
Narrator, tone, shocked. Lily was shocked. Who agreed to that? She couldn't avoid him fast enough.
Only a fool would marry you.
Your plain figure has been seen by me. Who else would marry you now?
Narrator, tone, shy. Hearing this ambiguous statement, Lily's face turned red. She retreated to her room, hiding under the covers like a turtle. I thought Master Alaric would be angry but wouldn't refuse to see me. To my surprise, he shut himself in for an entire day. This made me anxious. Dorian Bloom, that rascal, also miraculously didn't come looking for me today. Usually, he would sit on the sycamore tree outside my window, tossing little fruits at my face until I woke up. The strange behavior of these two made me even more uneasy and eager to burst through the intricately carved door. One of my greatest strengths is that I never procrastinate. I'm decisive. Kicking the door open, I was greeted by a rather scandalous scene. Master Alaric was lying on the bed in thin inner garments, his shoulders slightly exposed. Beside him sat Dorian Bloom, somewhat dressed, but in a very suggestive position, attending to Master Alaric's back. Seeing his seductive fox-like eyes, I immediately shouted in anger.
How dare you seduce my master?
Before I could finish, I slipped and fell flat on my back with a loud thud.
My poor butt.
Dorian helped me up, seemingly exasperated.
Lily, does it hurt?
What do you think? Why don't you try it?
Seeing the puddle on the floor, I realized Master Alaric hadn't mopped yesterday, which was unlike him.
Lily, why are you so reckless?
Master Alaric lifted his shirt, his face slightly flushed, and shook his head.
Master, are you upset because I interrupted your moment?
Before Master Alaric could speak, Dorian laughed.
What nonsense are you thinking?
Ignoring him, I continued to ask Master Alaric.
Master, do you refuse to marry me because you like him?
As soon as I said it, I realized it didn't make sense. If they were so deeply in love, why would Master Alaric want to marry me to Dorian? Dorian burst out laughing, clearly exasperated.
Lily, are you sick? Does your butt still hurt? Let me take a look.
Take a look? More like teasing. I was about to resist when Master Alaric, who had been silent, suddenly spoke.
Don't look. Let her suffer.
Feeling even more wronged, I saw Dorian's handsome face appear before me again.
Your master fell last night and hurt his back. I was applying medicine. Don't misunderstand.
So, the thud last night was Master Alaric's doing. Could it be that my words made him lose his balance and fall? With tears in my eyes, I threw myself at Master Alaric's bedside, deeply remorseful.
Master, I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Master Alaric's biggest flaw was his soft heart. He couldn't stand my tears. Seeing my sincerity, he naturally wouldn't blame me.
Lily, how long has it been since you washed your hair? It smells funny.
Funny smell? I touched my head and sniffed my fingers. Any last bit of hope vanished. It turned out my embroidered shoes, stained with dirt last night, had indeed spread their scent. Without a word, I jumped into the cold bath. The icy water met my burning backside, and you can imagine the reaction. The clear water mixed with Master Alaric's pleasant scent, and I felt drowsy, almost falling asleep. I felt someone lift me out, exhausted. This person also had a pleasant scent, just like Master Alaric. I clung tightly to his back, breathing against his pale neck, then suddenly wrapped my arms around his neck. His smooth, fair face looked like a juicy steak before my eyes.
Master, just give in to me,
I said, licking his face with my tongue. Sweet. The man shuddered slightly, then shook his head, helplessly patting my head, probably signaling me to be quiet. Though he carried me, he was careful not to hurt my injured backside. I vaguely heard someone say,
You must treat her well in the future.
I will.
Narrator, tone, angry to marry you. Lily's voice was full of dissatisfaction as she confronted Dorian Bloom.
You've been gone for 3 years, and now you show up wanting to marry me? How is that reasonable?
So, Lily is upset that I haven't been by your side? He said softly, with a smile in his eyes. I promise you, this time I'm back for good.
Lily quickly pulled her delicate hand back from his grasp.
I can't argue with you, so I won't talk to you.
She thought she had given him an out, expecting him to retreat. Instead, Dorian's eyes sparkled with mischief.
Lily, does this mean you agree to marry me?
Lily was shocked, unable to believe his audacity.
Who agreed to that? I can't avoid you fast enough.
Despite 3 years of absence, his appearance remained unchanged, but his ability to twist words had seemingly improved.
Only a fool would marry you.
Your plain figure has been seen by me. Who else would marry you now?
Hearing this ambiguous statement, Lily's face turned red. She retreated to her room, hiding under the covers like a turtle. Dorian Bloom was true to his word. This time, he didn't leave. For several months, he stayed, as if he would never leave until the day Lily married him. With him around, how could her perfect plan for her lifelong commitment with Master Alaric proceed smoothly? Lily decided to play a little trick to get rid of him.
Buddy, be good. Today, Mommy will help you solve your lifelong problem.
She shivered in fear, though she wasn't sure if he understood or not. Anyway, Lily headed towards Dorian Bloom's room. Unfortunately, besides Buddy and her, there were no other girls in this courtyard. Looking at Buddy in her hand, she chuckled to herself.
Dorian Bloom, let's see how you handle this.
Dorian Bloom had a habit of taking a nap after lunch. Ignoring Buddy's heart-wrenching cries, Lily gently closed the door and tiptoed towards Master Alaric's room. Today, Master Alaric miraculously left the door open. Could it be that he had already realized and re-evaluated their relationship?
Ouch! She rubbed her sore bottom and struggled to stand up, only to see Master Alaric looking at her apologetically.
Lily, are you all right?
Master, it hurts. Master, did you take a bath again?
Dorian Bloom waxed the floor for me, saying it would prevent moisture and termites.
Dorian Bloom again. Master, you're so naive.
Master, your frog technique is impressive.
Master Alaric brushed his hair aside, his expression unchanged.
Lily, copy the Heart Sutra 100 times.
Ah! Master!
This was clearly Dorian Bloom's fault, but anger aside, Lily hadn't forgotten her purpose for coming today. She tugged at Master Alaric's sleeve, forcing out a few tears.
Master, Buddy is missing.
How could that be? Who would dare bully Buddy?
Master, I saw Dorian Bloom walking with Buddy this morning. I just heard Buddy's cries from Dorian Bloom's room.
Seeing Master Alaric's doubtful expression, Lily quickly pulled him towards Dorian Bloom's room. This time, they walked very carefully. Lily wiped away her tears, feeling elated inside. If Master Alaric saw Dorian Bloom and Buddy disheveled and sharing a bed, he would surely be furious. Then she could cry and accuse Dorian Bloom of being irresponsible and immoral. Master Alaric would definitely cancel her marriage to Dorian Bloom. She giggled as they reached Dorian Bloom's door. Snoring came from inside.
Master, look! I can't believe Dorian Bloom would stoop so low as to not even spare a pig.
Master Alaric's face twitched, his expression darkening.
Dorian Bloom, you heartless man. How could you abandon your responsibilities and leave your family?
Before Master Alaric could respond, a pleasant voice came from somewhere.
Lily, when have I ever been heartless to you? When did we have a child?
Lily turned around in shock.
Dorian Bloom!
She gasped and turned back to the bed. Dorian Bloom's eyes were half closed, his smile twisted. She must have looked ridiculous, as Master Alaric couldn't help but chuckle. Furious, Lily yanked the covers off the bed. There lay Charlie, hugging Buddy and sleeping soundly.
Charlie! What are you doing here?
Sister! Sister, hug!
Lily quickly picked up Buddy and threw him into Charlie's arms. Watching the two of them happily embrace, she felt a headache coming on.
How could I entrust my happiness to two pigs?
Lily stared at Dorian Bloom, her expression a mix of shock and frustration.
What? You've been gone for 3 years, and now you show up wanting to marry me? How is that reasonable?
So, Lily is upset that I haven't been by your side? He smiled gently, his eyes twinkling. I promise you, this time I'm back for good.
Lily quickly pulled her hand away from his grasp.
I can't argue with you, so I won't talk to you.
She hoped he would take the hint and leave, but Dorian's eyes sparkled.
Lily, does this mean you agree to marry me?
Lily's eyes widened in disbelief.
Who agreed to that? I can't avoid you fast enough.
Despite 3 years apart, Dorian's charm hadn't diminished.
Only a fool would marry you.
Your plain figure has been seen by me. Who else would marry you now?
Lily blushed furiously and retreated to her room, hiding under the covers. To marry you.
What?
You've been gone for 3 years, and now you show up wanting to marry me? How is that reasonable? I was full of dissatisfaction.
So, Lily is upset that I haven't been by your side? Dorian Bloom said softly, with a smile in his eyes. I promise you, this time I'm back for good.
I looked at my delicate hand being grabbed by him and quickly pulled it back.
I can't argue with you, so I won't talk to you.
I thought I gave him an out, and he would wisely retreat, but he looked at me with sparkling eyes.
Lily, does this mean you agree to marry me?
I was shocked. Who agreed to that? I can't avoid you fast enough. 3 years without seeing him, his appearance hadn't changed much, but his ability to twist words had improved.
Only a fool would marry you.
Your plain figure has been seen by me. Who else would marry you now?
Hearing this ambiguous statement, my face turned red, and I had no choice but to retreat to my room, hiding under the covers like a turtle.